It's Purim Update with Zoe and Ayal.
Good evening. Our top story. After 30 years of one-man rule, the people have spoken, and a major transition is in place with ripple effects across the entire region. But enough about Beth. Sholom.
Members of Chazak announced that they are Members of Chazak announced that they are okay with having a female rabbi, as long as she has a white beard, the president said.
Following the success of his Facebook movie, Aaron Sorkin is writing a new script based on the Beth Sholom listserv. It's called The Antisocial Network. The movie stars Denzel Washington as Dennis White, and it leaves Matthew Morrison as Matt Halpern. And now, some shocking news from our senior investigative reporter, Ellie Silo-Carroll. Ellie, what do you have?
It is shocking, Zoe. For almost a year now, Tiny Conclave has been meeting regularly. It's meetings so secret that not even family members know what the conspirators are up to. We're talking, of course, about the Rabbi Search Committee. And in this shocking footage, we at last get to see what really goes on behind closed doors.
Zoe, Ayal, I've broken into the Rabbi Search Committee meeting. Let's see what really goes on at these closed-door events.
Yeah, sure, there you go.
Okay, very good.
Maybe skip focus a little too much. Alright, I raise your 10. This is, oh, very nice. Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing.
I'm at you.
You can.
What happens next here?
Okay.
Okay, cut the tension with a knife.
Where are the chocolates?
I ran out and I didn't have time to shop.
You know, if my family had
Happy
any
chocolates.
idea that we wrapped up this search 3 months ago, oh, I'll never hear the end of it.
Oh, speaking of which, another feedback form from a congregant.
This is great! Adina would never let me out on a weeknight.
So is everybody going to volunteer for the next committee, which is the Cantorial Search Committee?
Huzzah!
I've broken into the Rabbi Search Committee meeting. Let's see what really goes on at these closed-door events.
Very good.
Where are the chocolates?
I ran out and I didn't have time.
You know, if my family had any idea that we wrapped up this search 3 months ago,
Another feedback form from a congregant.
Never let me out on a weeknight.
Everybody going to volunteer for the next committee, which is the Cantorial Search Committee?
Yeah. Huzzah!
Truly amazing, Ellie, and may God save us all.
More news now. A number of disgruntled children who were expelled from Cbs Sholom have decided to form their own breakup. They're calling it Angry Birds. In a shul remaining Cbs children are now Tabim. Tabim is now the Russian choir, and the Russian choir have asked to the executive committee. Al Jazeera recently leaked memos showing that the Palestinians were willing to give up parts of Jerusalem. Unfortunately, the Israelis found out that the parts included ultra-Orthodox neighborhoods, so they said no.
And now, we come to a little segment of our program we call Really? With Zoe and Ayal. Really, Beth Sholom? 25 people donate to a kiddush for their birthdays, and all we get is one extra kugel? Really?
Really, Beth Sholom? We have 60 rabbis in this shul, and nobody can tell me if veggie lemon is kosher.
Really, Parallel Minion? After 25 years, is that the best name you can come up with? Parallel? Who named you anyway? A geometry teacher?
Really? Amari Stoudemire of the New York Knicks visits Israel and says he's Jewish. So? 10 middle-aged Jews visit Whittier courts on Shabbat and think they're basketball players.
Men who love cycling are invited to join Beth Shalom's Sunday Cycling Club, Abbas on Bikes, and their wives are urged to join a newly formed group, Imas on Unicycles. By the way, Abbas on Bikes, has a new logo.
In a surprise investment, Beth Shalom's board has voted to acquire a majority stake in the New York Mets. Leadership immediately recommends hiring a female manager. In addition, K-Rod's new nickname is Tough K-Rod. David Wright becomes David Center Left. And from now on, Oliver Perez will be called Shimon Perez.
And now, religion news. Beth Shalom's Rav Barry was recently brought up on charges by the Rabbinical Assembly. He was accused of adding too much spirituality to the conservative movement. For the next 6 months. Rav Barry also denied charges that he places too much focus on Israel, shortly before adding Misha Berach's from Maccabi Tel Aviv, Sabra Hummus, Israel's entry in the Eurovision Song Contest, and ladybugs crushed on Israeli Highway #1.
In Rabbi Search News, Chazak members are apparently worried that the 3 rabbinic candidates are too young. Many members wanted to complain to the committee, but found out that it is no longer possible to send a telegram. Search committee members denied that the candidates were chosen on the basis of their youth or their looks, shortly before announcing the latest candidate, Israeli supermodel Bar Rafael.
Speaking of Rabbi Search News, we now have a new feature on Purim Update. Senior Search Committee correspondent Eli Salapel explains.
Thanks, Zoe. It turns out that the search committee has been very good about communicating with members of our shul, but members of our shul still can't figure out what they're saying. That's why we've developed Beth Shalom's latest rabbinic search innovation, simultaneous translations. To demonstrate, I'd like to ask Zoe and Penina Grossberg, co-chair of the search committee, to help me.
It works like this. When Penina says,
"We would like to thank the candidates for sharing with us their incredibly innovative ideas and keen observations,"
she really means,
maybe that's how they do it in your crappy shul. Flagship synagogue and conservative music.
when she tells the candidate,
"We hope you've had a chance to get to know our diverse and enthusiastic congregation,"
she really means,
sorry about the nudnik who cornered you at Kiddush.
The search committee is committed to making the very best shidduch for our congregation.
We're open to many different kinds of women.
As you know, down to earth.
Good luck trying to do any fundraising. These folks are cheap.
We welcome the congregation's input into our process.
Yes, just like Mubarak listens to the Egyptians.
Thank you, Zoe and Ellie. More news now. Fox Television has announced its latest competition show, Zoe and Ayal. Contestants will compete to become the 5th Shaliach Tzibor allowed to daven at home.
The Adult Education Committee has doubled in size recently after it began showing adult film.
The board has appointed a group to help the new rabbi transition into life at Beth Sholom. They're calling it the Rabbinic Search and Rescue Committee.
All Ner Tamids in the shul will be replaced by iPads with the Ner Tamid app.
Rav Barry negotiated 2 more weeks of vacation after appointing Jim Schwartz as his body double. Jim will fill in during Pesach and Shavuot, although Rav Barry will perform his own stunts. Rav Barry has turned down requests to serve another year at Beth Shalom, saying he's moving back to Israel. Asked if he was worried about all the factionalism, religious strife, and growing Orthodox influence, he said, "Exactly. That's why I'm getting out of it."
Excuse me, Zoe. We have a late-breaking story from our senior rabbinical search correspondent, Ellie Salocaro. Ellie, what's going on?
Thanks, Ayal. Behind me is a spontaneous demonstration that is broken out. The young radicals say they want new leadership in Beth Sholom, and apparently they have chosen a write-in candidate. What's more, Teaneck USY is selling these t-shirts to raise funds to help with the recovery efforts in Japan.
You say Teaneck USY is selling t-shirts to raise money to help with the recovery efforts in Japan?
That's right. Teaneck USY is selling t-shirts. USY saves Social Action Tikkun Olam to help with the recovery efforts in Japan.
And where are they selling these t-shirts?
In the lobby, right after the Purim Shpeil.
And how much do they cost?
$12.
Thank you, Ellie.
And thank you, audience. Don't forget to fill out your Purim Shpeil feedback forms. 3 emails and 3 follow-up robots.
Also, everyone, please take out your cell phones. Don't worry, it's not Shabbos. Open your calendar application and go to April 15th. Actually do it. Like, take out your phone. Now mark down that you will be joining us on Friday, April 15th for Teaneck USY, Teaneck Kadima, and the Ruach committees, the last Friday night supper before Passover. A Friday night dinner for the aspirers, the demonics, and the rest of the congregation to come together and enjoy a nice break from Pesach preparations.
On a more serious note, we are all watching with horror the events in Japan and they need our help greatly. We are trying to provide our support. Please help in our efforts. Shirts will be available for purchase tonight in the lobby, as well as in the next few days in the office. After tonight, please speak to Matt Halpern for a shirt.
Good night and stay classy, Beth Shalom.
Yeah!